Yo, what up guys, it's your boy Chris Leafly. Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be recapping and talking about UFC 327, possibly the best card of the last couple years. Uh, Definitely the best card of the year so far. A lot of shit happened. Undefeated records were taken. Fight of the year contenders. A lot of shit. Let's start off with the early prelim opener. Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. Charles Radke just dominated this fight pretty much. Not much happened. Radke cut Prado open bad from bottom position. He got taken down, or he got reversed on the ground, and he just elbowed the shit out of Prado from bottom. Landed a clean elbow and cut Prado open pretty badly. Prado's gonna get cut after this fight. He's, I think, 1-4 in the UFC. Pretty bad loss. He didn't look terrible in this fight. He just had no wrestling defense. But he did have an insanely deep guillotine on Radke, but Radke fought out of it and survived. Pretty boring fight. A very bloody fight, but not many strikes were thrown of significance. As you can see, out of 121 strikes, 24 of them were significant. Prado just really didn't get much offense on. He was pretty much on the back foot or on the bottom position the entire fight. But Charles got to say it again. He got to have his post-fight speech. We always know those are entertaining. And he stays in the UFC. Pretty good fight, but all around, it's a good opener. But he was just dominating in the wrestling. Moving on to the two washed fighters. Vicente Luque upset Kelvin Gastelum. I really wanted to pick Luque. Against my better judgment, I went Gastelum just because of how much of a favorite he was in this fight. He got fucked up. Luque was clearly better on the feet. He was faster. And Kelvin just put his head directly into Luque's best submission. The Anaconda turned into a Darth choke. Or Darth choke, Anaconda. Same shit. I think that's Kelvin's first time being knocked down in the UFC. Maybe he got knocked down against Izzy. But Vicente Luque hurt him bad. Kelvin was out of it. And he tried to wrestle out of it, but he just stuck his head right into an Anaconda choke, and Vicente Luque finished him pretty easily. There's not much to talk about in this fight. Kelvin was, he was talked about heavily coming in this fight. He's locked in this fight camp. He's gonna come back to the old Kelvin. And, clearly, that's not what's happening. Vicente has looked better and better since returning from the brain bleed. He had a great win against Thimbo Gurimbo. Now he got this submission win against Kelvin. You give him a good fight. I would give him like a Boost Magomedov. But I don't know what you do with Kelvin. This was such a shit performance. And he's had such shit performances back to back. Joe Pyfer dominated him. He got submitted by Sean Brady. He had that win against Dustin Stoltzford, but that was a bad win too. He went fucking tooth and nail with that guy. I don't know. You give Kelvin like an up and coming contender. Give him Atiba. Let's see if Atiba can flatline Kelvin. But yeah, this was the first fight of the night that I got wrong. I did pretty well on predictions. I think I went 9-3, considering a lot of my picks were underdogs. That's not too terrible. It could have been terrible. It could have been like 3-8, or it could have been 3-9. On to this fight. I have to talk about this. How the fuck is this a draw? It is closer to a 30-26 than a draw for me. I rewatched this fight, even when I was watching it live. I had Chris Padilla winning 1, 2, and 3. The only round that was arguable for Padilla for Medeiros was round 2. And even that, he got outlanded so much. I think the numbers, what were the numbers in that round? It was something crazy. It was something insane. Hold on, is the actual UFC website here? Because they will have the round by round stats. Let's see them. Round 2. 71-46. Significant strike 63-44. So round 2's 100% a Padilla round. Padilla was just marching forwards, throwing heavy leg kicks, knees up the middle, fantastic elbows. I think Medeiros won round 1 on every judge, and I have no idea. Again, look at the significant strikes. Like, how do they give him? Yes, Medeiros won on damage, I have to guess, because Medeiros got an elbow right down the middle and he cut Padilla's forehead. But besides that, it was Padilla on the front foot, backing up Medeiros, landing elbows, landing so many elbows, body kicks, knees. Padilla has one of my favorite styles in the UFC. He is a really strong Muay Thai fighter, very strong, very good wrestler. But he's Muay Thai, insane cardio, insane pace. The fucking pace that Padilla was fighting at was just insane. He never tired. He didn't even seem affected by the cut. He apparently came into the fight with a cut almost near the same place, because when he was in the corner, he said that it was not the same cut that he had previous. He does have an issue where he gets cut by elbows. He got cut really badly by Jai Herbert, and he got cut by Medeiros. But and in round 3, Medeiros got deducted for eye poke, and this was probably the closest round for me. But even significant strikes are pretty even, total strikes are pretty even. But with that, Padilla got a takedown, secured the round at the end, landed the better strikes in my opinion. Medeiros probably had the power shots, but the volume Padilla was landing and the reactions that we're getting from Medeiros was just superior. I have no idea how they gave that fucking... And they originally called the fight a majority decision for Padilla. I don't know how you got that wrong. While on the scorecards, on the event, they had to update it mid-card and give the actual scorecard of a majority draw. It was just a stupid event. I mean, Padilla is... I believe he's petitioning for it to be changed to a decision win for him. I think so. He said he submitted a... Yeah, he submitted a request to the scoring department. I don't know what they're called. Tatiana Suarez versus Lupi Godinez. Lupi almost got Tatiana out in the first round. She landed a heavy right hand, stumbled Tatiana, nearly knocked her out cold. But Tatiana was able to recover, take down Lupi, control her for that round, and then in the second round, she just dominated her, dragged her down immediately, got to the back. Lupi gave up the back while trying to get up, and she got choked out immediately. She tried not to tap, but I think she went to sleep. Yeah, Lupi looked good. I don't think her stock fell too hard in this fight, because... Oh my god, Tatiana was getting a lot of good ground and pound. She did win back the round, because she didn't get knocked down. She got wobbled. So she could win first, but I think it was 1-0 Lupi, and then she just got dominated. She got taken down almost immediately, gave up the back, and then got submitted. This is the best Tatiana has looked in a fight since before the Wei Li fight. Tatiana is the Habib of women's division, but I don't think she's that good. I'm going to be honest. She can't strike to save her life. Wei Li proved that wrong. I think she loses to Wei Li. I think she loses to Dern. I think you have to give her Verna Jandiroba. Just, both of them have lost to the winner, the title holder. See, I don't know. it was a good submission. A lot of these fights are really fun. Padilla was my fight of the night up until Hokit Curtis, which we'll talk about later. Mateusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovic. This was my underdog pick of the card. I was so confident. This is the worst Esteban has ever looked in the UFC. He was terrified to throw. He didn't have any volume on the feet. He kept throwing kicks, kept getting caught and taken down. He had no answers for the takedowns of Gamrot. He couldn't get up from the takedowns. He just got utterly dominated. He stood no chance. This is the best Gamrot has looked since the fight with Arman. He looked confident on the feet. He was able to get his takedowns whenever he wanted. His control has much improved. He can keep his opponents down now. And he had that submission. He locked in a arm triangle that the referee tried to stop while Esteban was very clearly still trying to get out of it. So the ref almost stopped the fight. And Esteban waved him off and then immediately tapped out. I don't know. I don't know if the lights were too bright for Ribovic, or I don't know how you have a whole training camp to deny wrestling and then get taken down 4 out of 4 times, or 4 out of 6 times. I don't know. This just was a really sad performance because I think Esteban is a very talented fighter, but he clearly just had nothing to offer in this fight, so he's gonna have to, restart, fight a contender, and hopefully he can get back in the rankings. But Gamrot does look massively improved, and he is not as bad as I thought he was. And I thought the Ludwig Klein fight was a fluke, but apparently he can dominate people that aren't Dan Hooker. This was another underdog, and this was I actually hit on this one on my parlay, a plus 400 Kevin Holland by decision. This is a mirror matchup. Randy Brown isn't that good, and that just really proved in this fight. He looked timid, he looked scared to throw, and I don't know how you're a professional fighter and you don't know how to check a leg kick. He's constantly having issues with leg kicks in every one of his fights. Kevin Holland followed a game plan, which is rare. And in the second round, I think it was the second round, Randy Brown just stuck his head into a front choke, into a Darce choke. Again, I don't know what these people are thinking, but he fought out of it. He got locked in deep. It was really deep. Kevin Holland has the legs hooked and everything, and somehow Randy Brown's able to squeeze out of it. But you could just tell after escaping that choke, Randy Brown had nothing in the gas tank anymore. He was so tired. Everything he had was diminished. He couldn't earn the respect of Kevin. He was much faster than Kevin, but Kevin was just walking forwards, hammering the leg. By the end of round 1, you could see multiple lumps on Brown's legs. And Kevin just looked more confident. He looked cleaner. And he was able to just get the fight wherever he wanted. He would get in the clinch. The leg kicks were a problem. This fight, it was just a boring fight, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Nothing much happened. I mean, Kevin was slowing down. Both of them were slowing down due to the pace of the fight. But Kevin looked improved. He looked like a smarter fighter. And I hope this shows that he actually is improving and he is taking his career seriously. On to the fucking final prelim of the night. The prelim closer. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. I don't think many people predicted a decision victory in this fight, but Aaron Pico proved that he was a, good minus 300 pick here. He fucking dominated Pitbull, bell to bell. Pitbull had zero success in this fight. Pico from just another nobody that people didn't have hype on because of the Lerone Murphy knockout to being someone that in their next fight could be fighting a Lerone Murphy again, or a Movzar. Uh, he's probably one fight away from a title shot. He dominated. His boxing looked clean. Oh my god, his body work was beautiful. He knocked down Patricio Pitbull, I think, in the third round or in the second round. Nearly got him out of there. He showed that he can wrestle. He has really powerful strikes. And yeah, he just really proved a lot in this fight. And he is definitely a contender. He's definitely one of the best featherweights in the world. And he proved it. He has so much hype now. Very excited to see what he does next. And he took, like, no damage in this fight. Yeah, like, he took 0 damage. Like, Patricio was fucked up. He was bleeding bad. And yeah, moving on to the main card opener. Cub Swanson walks down Nate Landwehr and just fucked him up. Happy retirement. You couldn't write a better retirement for Cub Swanson. He looked fast. He looked powerful. He looked crisp on the feet. He looked like he doesn't have to retire. He looked like he could be a ranked fighter. That's how good he looked. But in all fairness, that's how everyone looks against Nate Landwehr. He got him out of there in the first round. Knocked him down. Slumped him. But Nate recovered. And then slumped him again. And the ref stepped in. Happy retirement to Cub Swanson. But Nate the Train. His hype train has gone down so far. He has no chin anymore. His durability is just tanked. He lost to Costa. He lost to Cherrier. And now he's lost to Cub Swanson. He's on the verge of getting cut from the UFC, which is really sad. But you could just see in the strike difference. I mean, Nate had landed a few strikes, but it was one-way traffic. Nate had nothing to offer. He was too slow on the feet. Cub looked so fast. And, I mean, I'm glad that Cub Swanson got the retirement fights this year has been insane. Like, everyone's getting a good finish in their retirement. Michael Chiesa got it. No one's going out getting slumped. Well, Nico Price went out getting slumped, but he wasn't the main retirement of that night. It was Chiesa. Moving on to one of the worst light heavyweight fights I've ever watched. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. If you would have put a gun to my head and said what fight would not go to decision, it would have been this one. And I don't know why. Well, I get why. They were both timid. They were both timid and scared that any strike was going to knock them out. That's why over 15 minutes they threw a combined 70 strikes. All of Dominic Reyes' strikes were considered significant, apparently. It was just a bad fight. Both were very clearly scared of each other. Johnny Walker had a let me not throw any boxing punches. Let me just run around on the outside and kick Dominic Reyes' legs. Dominic Reyes had a game plan of walking forwards and getting kicked in the legs. And then randomly throwing a head kick or two. I don't know how Dominic Reyes won this fight. I don't know how Johnny Walker lost this fight. If I was scoring it, I would have had 2-1 Johnny Walker, but I don't know what they were looking for. I don't know what the criteria was. There's not much to talk about in this fight. Let me see. What was the most active round? Yeah, I mean, this shit was just boring. Fuck these both. Feed Dominic Reyes to Khalil Roundtree. Give Johnny Walker... give him Nikita Krylov. Holy fuck. Josh Hokett is one fight away from a title shot. Hokett proved that it's not a gimmick. Hokett nearly slumped Curtis Blades out cold in the first minute of this fight. I don't know. Okay, first off, I'm going to talk about Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades got fucked up. He showed that he's durable again. I don't know how Blades was surviving the punches from Josh Hokett. This fight was fought at such an insane pace. Combined 400 400 total strikes. 200 significant strikes apiece. Holy fuck, each round of this fight was insane. Josh Hokett had nothing in the tank after the first 3 minutes of this fight. He threw everything he could at Curtis Blades early, and Blades somehow survived. And then Blades came back at the end of round one, started throwing strikes, hurt Josh Hokett, and then Josh Hokett would not stop giving Blades the finger. Whenever there was any type of break in action, Josh Hokett would give him the middle finger. You could tell how tired he was because every time he would give him the middle finger, he was getting slower and slower raising it. Josh Hokett was keeping up the antics. He was dancing. He was yelling. He spit out his mouthpiece multiple times. There was about a minute-long period where Josh Hokett just didn't have a mouthpiece. Round 2 was insane. They were going back and forth. This fight was so back and forth. Josh Hokett was landing 14 punches in a row. Then Curtis Blades would hit a counter, wobble Hokett. Hokett would walk back, come back with another right hand. These guys were insane. This is the craziest fights I've ever seen in the light heavyweight division. The only fight that I've watched, I've been a fan of UFC and watched was Mai Takaoblai versus Rebecca. That was the only fight that would beat this. Neither of them got really knocked down. Yeah, no knockdowns, just straight up hands. I think I'd score Josh Hokett getting a knockdown in the first round because he almost did slump Blades. But Blades was fighting on pure anger and hatred towards Hokett. And yes, I know some people don't agree with Josh Hokett's antics, and I do think he's a bit cringe, but holy fuck, what a fight. All that shit that he was doing in the build-up, he put everything on the line for this fight, and it was holy fuck, he delivered. The greatest light heavyweight fight of all time. And that beats Yuri, Glover, that beats everything. Jesus Christ. This is a heavyweight fight, not a light heavyweight. Yeah, it beats Bigfoot versus Hunt. It beats everything. Hokett is now fighting Derek Lewis at the White House. They announced that during the co-main event, I believe, they announced that while Hokett was going to the hospital, they asked him if he wants to be on the White House card because Donald Trump personally asked why Derek Lewis is not on the White House card. So we have a 7th fight or an 8th fight on the White House card, Josh Hokett versus Derek Lewis, which I'm not a fan of. Like, obviously I'm a fan of. I'm scared that Josh Hokett's going to get slept on the feet by Derek Lewis because of how open he is on the feet. He's also so small for heavyweight. He's like 6 foot 230. He's going to get slumped eventually, but it's a fun fight on the White House card. I think Hokett wins it. They also announced that they signed Gable Steveson, who's making his debut at International Fight Week. He's probably going to fight Marcin Tybura. Gable Stevenson's going to be he's going to be in a title fight within the next 2 years. And he's probably going to win it because of how good he is. But I want to see Hokett versus Waldo Cortez Acosta within this year. And yeah, definitely deserves the fight of the night bonus. Did anyone else get the fight of the night bonus? How did this not get a fight of the night bonus? Alright. On to my best pick of the year so far. Costa at a plus 300 defeats the professional Azamat Murzakanov, takes the undefeated record of Murzakanov, broke the forearm of Azamat with a head kick. I predicted this fight to a T. I said the southpaw stance of Azamat and the fact that he's so open to the body is going to work magical for Paulo. Paulo's going to kick the shit out of him on every level. He's going to hit him with leg kicks, body kicks, and head kicks. He's going to hurt Murzakanov. I thought it would go to decision, but you could see Murzakanov was so gassed after the second round that he just wilted in the third. He got kicked in the arms, and then he just laid down on the ground. There wasn't even any follow-up shots. Paulo looks really good at light heavyweight, and I think you could give him an interim title shot after this, because Carlos Alberg's going to be out for a year. Give him an interim. Give him Magomed. And Azamat, I don't know what you do with him. I was always on the anti-Azamat hype train. I thought he was bad. I thought he was going to get fraud checked. I thought it was going to be Rakic that fraud checked him. But Costa was the one. I was right that Azamat was not going to beat Costa. I just didn't see Azamat flatlining Costa. And if you're not going to flatline Costa, there was no way he was going to beat Costa in a decision. Costa's too good at maintaining range. The body kicks, the head kicks. Murzakanov couldn't get close. Whenever he did get close, Costa would just circle out, kick him to the body, slow down Murzakanov, and just dominate him. And he didn't really stand a chance in this fight. He wilted. The wrestling, he did take down Costa, but Costa kind of got right back up. What was the submission attempt? Oh, it was like a fucking bully choke. It was like a reverse bully choke. Rev? Oh, that's reversals. Yeah, Costa reversed and then got up. Yeah, I mean, Costa knocked down Murzakanov in the second round, I believe. Yeah, was it the second round? No, it was the third round. In the second round, he landed such a beautiful head kick. I mean, Murzakanov will return. He is talented, but I just didn't think he was championship material. Honestly, after what happened in the main event, fuck. Yuri is my favorite fighter. Fucking Yuri, dumbass. I give him... Azamat wouldn't chin Yuri, but moving on. Carlos Ulberg knocked out Yuri Prochazka on a torn ACL. Yuri's stupid. Yuri is too autistic. He couldn't handle the fact that he was getting an easy win. And I don't even believe the mercy thing. I just think Yuri got way too overconfident and walked over and got caught by the left hook. The one weapon that was very scary going in. Yuri got slumped. There was no chance of recovery. He got slumped. The leg kicks were an issue for him early. I don't even know what to say. He got fucking slumped. He got hit so bad. It wasn't like a wobble. He got slumped. He got knocked down and finished. Carlos Ulberg, congratulations. Carlos Ulberg knocked out Yuri Prochazka on a fucking ACL, on a torn ACL. He was fighting on one leg. Yuri was chopping the leg. You could see Ulberg couldn't even stand. And then Yuri gave him the one chance to win. If Yuri had just survived a fucking minute, he would be world champion right now. But no, he ran directly at Carlos Ulberg and got chopped and fucking knocked out cold. I don't know what you do with Yuri next. This is the type of loss that is like, it's scaring me. Because he got slumped so badly and took so many follow-up shots that this could be like a Tony Ferguson level downfall, I'm feeling. Like, that's how concerning this loss was. His fight IQ, I mean, Yuri's defense has always been terrible, but like, this is just a terrible loss. And now the light heavyweight division's fucking terrible, because Carlos is injured for a year, 9 to 12 months, they said. So he's probably gonna vacate, or there's gonna be an interim title shot. You can't give Yuri the interim title shot because he just got slumped by the fucking title holder. So what, you give Magomed the title holder, or you give Magomed the interim, versus who, Jan or Bogdan? Or you give Paulo Magomed for the interim, and then Paulo versus Ulberg, or the winner of that versus Ulberg for the title. And then you give, Yuri, Jan Blachowicz? I don't know. I don't want to see Yuri until September. I want Yuri to take a long time off. I want him to heal up, have time with his kid. This was just stupid. I genuinely couldn't believe it. I was so upset, dude. Yuri's my favorite fighter. I had such high hopes for this, and Yuri, he underdelivered. He got slumped, and it was really disappointing. Congrats to Carlos Ulberg, but Thank you guys for watching. Bye.